wanted to show off our lack of interior design skills. Since this is just a tour video, we figured a lot of you might not be subscribers, so we would just quickly introduce ourselves.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Finn, and we live in this car. We spent last year traveling around the world for our honeymoon, and this year we have renovated this RV and we're heading up to Alaska to start the Pan American Highway that goes all the way down to Argentina.
The first 2 months of this trip we spent remodeling the inside of this vintage RV. It looks a lot different, and we're really excited to finally show off the ton of work we put into it.
Oh, so we should...
Yes, the inside. People want to see it.
Let's go. Come on, Pepper.
Let's go. No, not okay.
Guys, we're trying to make a car look as best as possible, but we have no experience in interior design. We have no like DIYs. Like, that's not what this is. This was just trying to make this space comfortable and livable while we're traveling for the year, and throw in a little bit of budget friendly too. So a lot of this isn't like what we think could like look the best RV in the world. Some of this is just like, this rug was in our Indianapolis apartment and now it's here. That rug was in our entryway in our Indianapolis apartment and it kind of fits over the ugly carpet that's on this slide that we really didn't know how to fix the floor on, so we just threw the carpet on top. Those are our little imperfections along the way. You can see, maybe or not, that this is a slide out, which means that this room expands open if you are not familiar with RVing. So this all gets larger, which gave us the flexibility to have an L-shaped sofa. And what that meant is we just kind of shopped around and found something that fit the dimensions in this space. And shocker, this is from IKEA. And what's also cool about this sofa is all of the storage. Holy cow. Oh, I could have maybe looked in there and organized that before opening it up on the internet. Okay, the other reason we needed this sofa is because it's a sleeper sofa. And this pulls out to make almost a full queen size bed. And we are expecting some friends along the way, but mostly it's so that we can also have our space sleeping. You know, like if it's really hot and like one of us is in the bed and Tim is out here on the sofa. It's just really nice to like have a 2-bedroom in a car. Oh, look at our beautiful cabinets. This took just, I don't know, 9 weeks to paint the whole car. Just like other RVs, we had the beautiful wallpapered walls. There was a wallpaper border. There was like the blonde wood cabinetry, and just, we're going millennial white, guys. I don't know why they don't just do that in the first place, but don't worry, we are still keeping the vintage light fixtures. Like, you just touch it and it's just like caked in so much dust from the early 2000s. This desk/table is fantastic. It's from IKEA. It moves around and it's modular and it does funky things, which I'm not gonna take the time to show you. But you can see that this can fold down, and then we've got this, and then there's another side that pops up if we wanna move it around, and there's drawers in here. So this really is fantastic. Even though I'm on the sofa, we kind of have this like dual seating area thing going on, which is very convenient for how we use the space. If you are interested in purchasing the table, it weighs like 9 million pounds, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best option because it's so heavy. It's so heavy. The other side of the desk allows me to talk about this wall, which is pretty cool, which we probably need to do something up here. We just wanted to mention because we've seen so many people with like reclaimed wood or stick wood and, you know, trying to create this look. What this is, it's just one piece. It's just a panel from Home Depot, and the whole huge panel was $20. We also have this reclaimed wood look here, but this isn't actually reclaimed wood. That's expensive unless you're like out foraging for it in an old barn. This is also really inexpensive from Home Depot too. You can just like buy the long panel, and then Tim had to take the time and measure it out because not one piece could go all the way across, so he had to like cut pieces along the way. The old border was this blonde contoured trim board that just was really dated. If we had left that there, I think it would have changed the whole look of this whole place. So this is part of the reason why this looks nice and crisp and modern.
I get to talk about the kitchen because I spent so much time here during the remodel. First off, let's look at an old picture of the kitchen. Ooh. It's old. It looks like a mid-2000s RV kitchen. Beyond the painting and the hardware on the cabinets, which let's appreciate that because that didn't exist there, and putting new hinges, that takes a lot of time because it offsets the cabinet doors. But besides all that stuff, Vinny painted the countertop. It's held up for the past 6 weeks on the road. Looks pretty good. Looks much better than the mid-2000s countertop. We were going to do butcher block, but just based on budgeting and the logistical facts around ripping everything out, we decided just to paint the countertop. If you'll notice, the best tile job ever, is that subway tile? Is that stickers? Is that just paint at? No. Somebody came in here and put individual subway tiles up. Then they mortared it.
Crap.
Then they grouted it. Does it look incredible? Yes. Did the person who put up subway tile, has he ever done a tile job before? No. And have any of them fallen yet while we've been driving down the road? Also no. Another feature of the kitchen, that same person who put up subway tile wasn't...
Who, Tim? Who are we talking about?
It was me. It was me.
Oh, it was you.
The connections in back didn't meet up exactly. We had to do a bunch of adapters. Now that it's in this oiled bronze look, it does look pretty good. And look at this. Yeah, we've got one of these like everybody. We might toss this because honestly, we have enough counter space because if you look right over here, look at that. Look at this. That's actually just a cutting board. You may have noticed the yellow-hued sink. Also, if we were going to live in the RV for the next 3 years or something, we would have ripped all this stuff out. But if you want to just replace the sink in here, you're opening a can of worms or a barrel of monkeys. Because it was attached to the countertop, we would have had to get a custom countertop cut to the new sink. Just way too much money invested based on the fact that we're only spending a year in here. Yes, the foyer. This was originally our liquor cabinet. It was stacked up with booze, but now it's a little more functional. We hang things like leashes and headlamps in there. This amazing cabinet here, you'll never guess where it's from. It's from IKEA. There used to be a very vintage looking chair here, but why would we need a third chair here when we already have an L couch and these two chairs? Keep electronics in here, keys, a bunch of shoes underneath. It's just a ton more storage. It keeps this whole way right here clear so we can get in and get to our seats easily when the slide's in. It just opens up the space. So much room. These are curtains that have rods on both sides. My mom helped us make them. And Aunt Donna. Thanks, Aunt Donna. Thanks, Mom. Got a roller shade over the door. And what is it attached to? Is this a custom reclaimed wood looking shelf? Why, yes, it is. Now you have two basically lazy boys here. These things swivel around really easy. The chair covers on these are actually lazy boy chair covers, and these seats too, they had covers on them when we bought them. They were pretty beat. They're really comfortable still, and we didn't want to go with the expense of having them reupholstered or anything. As far as other things we changed, there was a big plastic bin. You might be able to see a little bit of...
Oh yeah, you can see it.
You can see that? Okay. There was a big plastic bin here. We ripped that out. It had 2 cup holders in it, but beyond that, it just was taking up a ton of room and didn't offer any usable storage really. Unless you need an ashtray, then you're set. So we got rid of that and we're a lot happier about it. As you can see from the old pictures of the RV before the remodel, there was a beautiful 19-inch TV up here. We've replaced this with what's essentially, well, not our basement, let's call it the attic. We have all this room, the whole drone backpacks there. Chappie, RIP, he's here right now. He had a tough time in New Orleans, partied a little hard. He is waiting for a repair. But just, there's so much room to stash stuff up there, and it makes it really convenient. We're getting a lot more use out of it than we would have got out of that 19-inch TV. Please, come on back. Come on back into the residence portion of the car. Come on, come on. It's okay. This, obviously, is the shower. Our bathroom is split, shower on this side, the toilet on the sink over on that side behind the door. The shower was a little bit too expensive to remodel or do anything with. If you get into it, the price goes up really quick. But it is totally fine for what we need. Everything works in it. It's a lovely shade of Nintendo white in there. And if you haven't seen it before, you step up into it. And I'm 6'1", and still plenty of room to shower. The first thing in the bathroom that may pique your interest, yes, that's a lovely picture of Pepper that I got for Valentine's Day from my wife, and I love it. So it's in here, a place of honor. You can see from the previous footage, the bathroom looked how you'd expect it to look in an older RV. We did a lot of work in here, actually. We put in this beadboard. It's wide beadboard. We put in a brand new white sink that was an exact match for the sink that was in here before, because that was also Nintendo yellow. We put a new faucet in for, well, that you have in a house. It adds a touch of elegance to your bathroom experience. Beyond that, of course, paint. Framed out the existing mirror in kind of a beechwood reclaimed look. Also, it's just painted wood from Home Depot or Lowe's. It's not really reclaimed. We are using the real RV toilet. We didn't go ahead and buy one of those dry systems for $1,000, because that's $1,000. We're only going to be in here in a year. And really, I don't know if it's the background in plumbing or what, but the whole dumping the gray and black tanks doesn't bother me. So we left the toilet how it was.
Hey, welcome back to the bedroom. I'm bummed we don't have like a mega wide angle lens to make this easier to understand where everything is, but we've got the toilet and sink and the shower you just saw from Tim, and I just thought it was cool to show you what we can create in the space here. So the toilet and sink door closes off. If you saw the before tour, you saw this already, but this closes off, shoom! And that closes off the bedroom master suite from the rest of the RV. And then they had this paper thin door thing here that was weird, and also like that whitey yellow color. And we just put 2 hooks on either side, and oh wait, this is gonna take me a sec because each individual hook is around here. It's very easy to take the curtain across the bedroom. So it really creates like a bathroom suite then too. And if somebody is already sleeping, when somebody's showering, we have a lot of privacy that way from each other. We're living in a car. To the coziest place in the RV. This is my favorite spot. I just think that this definitely looks the best on camera, I know that. Hey, this is a queen size bed. It's queen-ish. And it's very cozy. Now, despite all of the like Pinteresty decor, everything has a very pragmatic use. So we have a down comforter that is in a IKEA duvet. We also have this really heavy black blanket, not because it looks super cute draped over the bed, but we are just going to be in so many different climates that we kind of need a lot of different blanket types for our environments that we're going to be in. So we've already used the bed with the down duvet, with this, and then this other throw isn't just for show. It's because I'm always just a little bit colder than Tim, and so like this is just my little throw blanket for over me. More throw pillows, which Tim hates. I'll talk you through a little bit of the closet space, because if you're watching this and you're new to RV life, or you don't full-time live in an RV, this is probably the biggest question that like my friends have for me, is just like, where are all of your clothes? This is very his and hers. This is my side. Tim was nice enough to give me the bigger closet. Should I be embarrassed about how Pinteresty this is? Probably. But I do wear hats a lot, and I don't really have like good places to store them. And when I saw a picture of somebody else that had them on the wall, I was like, okay, that's acceptable. We just put hats on walls now. So that's why my hats are on the wall. Here's all my clothes. We hung up this hanging rack thing, which is helpful for organization of jewelry and stuff. I've got a laundry bag hung from one of those hangers. It's like a belt hanger or a tie hanger for men. And I have a whole bunch of tank tops that are hung like all the way towards the back. So that's a good organization tool. You can use that in like your apartment too. And of course, like all those space-saving velvet hangers, those are great. But that's all my hanging clothes, and I have just a plastic drawer in and out of like my socks and underwear and pajamas. And I have, can you see in here? Just like my watches and some nighttime stuff. And a whole thing of makeup, again with another IKEA, but that's an awesome like acrylic makeup organizer thing. Tim and I share the space up here. Another bin of just my exercise clothes, and that's it. That's all my clothes. Oh, so I also have the Osprey backpack that we carried around in our around the world trip downstairs in our outside storage. That's all my winter stuff. But that's it, just that backpack of winter stuff, and that's all the clothes. Tim, do you want to go on a tour of your closet? That's more fun than me.
These are some of my clothes. These are the rest of my clothes. This is probably too many clothes. I could get rid of half of them.
Thanks to all of you for checking out this video. You can tell we're not really like a DIY couple. Don't plan on learning anything on this channel. But if you want to check out some travel videos of our trip up to Alaska, then this is the place to be. So we'd love to have you along.
Stick around. Was that bad? Okay.
And you can find that on this playlist, Tripped RV. We'll see you there.
Perfect. I don't know. They'll fix it in post, I'm sure.